Hello and welcome to the Family Business. I'm Joe Castiglione Jr. alongside Isaac Stoops. Today we're really privileged because we're joined by Denver Bronco and a guy who just had a hell of a season, Nik Bonitto. Nick, thanks for joining the show.
Anytime, guys.
Really appreciate it. Big Joe said what's up. That St. Thomas Aquinas connection. He actually said he just talked to Coach Smith just a couple of weeks ago. So he said what's up. So
No
Florida
doubt, you
boys.
gotta tell myself what's up, man. It's been a while, so definitely tell myself what's up.
That's crazy that you played for the same coach that
Yeah,
his
Coach
dad
Smith
played
was
for.
there. Was he there for any of the years that you were there? Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was. He wasn't the head coach anymore, but he was kind of like the AD in a way, like where he just oversaw everything. He was always at the practices, always at the games. So, no, he was around for sure.
We know that football pipeline runs deep.
Yeah, St. Thomas Aquinas.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's proud. That's what my dad always says. It's really proud.
Yeah.
But hell of a year with the Denver Broncos. Had to ask right off the top. You played under Coach Kane at Oklahoma, and then it turns out he actually joins the staff a little bit after you joined the Broncos. What has it been like working with Coach Kane, and what has he done for your development? Just kind of seeing a familiar face in an organization.
Yeah, I mean, just as far as like you said, just having a familiar face. He kind of wasn't my position coach in a way with the Broncos, but I mean, just always having that third down day with him, being able to have that time with him in the meeting room and just connect again, and just being able to have a guy that knew the type of rusher I was and the type of player be in the building and was able to kind of vouch for me and have put me in spots to succeed, and it was really important for me for sure.
Yeah, I've seen, the like you doing stuff in the community like over the holidays and whatnot. What's it, it's your first time back in the playoffs since college, and what's it kind of been like to see the city and the community, with the resurgence of you guys, starting to do really well?
Yeah, man. As far as the community stuff goes, man, it's just always good to just try to give back to a city that gave a lot to me already. Those fans always show out, each and every Sunday for us. So I mean, just being able to give back to Broncos country was really important to me, and obviously with the way where they're playing on the field, that's just another way that we're finding a way to give back to them, man. I mean, we had a really good year. Better than a lot of people expected. So, I mean, as far as that goes, we just got to keep going. And I think we're on that path. So,
When people talk about with the year that you had, with success of sacks and turnovers and so on, they think about the great Broncos pass rushers. Guys like Von Miller. What's it been like kind of being spoken in the same breath as kind of a legend like that and, trying to mold yourself into like a player like him?
yeah, I mean, it's like it's really crazy. I mean, Von is obviously one of the greatest ever. He's one of my favorite players ever since I was a kid to watch. So I mean, just definitely being in talks with him at certain points this year was kind of crazy. But I mean, it's just everything. I feel like I've worked for him, and just I got to keep building off of it and just keep growing. Honestly.
Do you remember where you were or what you were doing and all that when you found out you made your first Pro Bowl?
Yeah, I was actually because I want to say we had the mini bye week after the. No, actually, no, I lied. It was coming home from practice, and I was heading home, and as like I was heading home driving, like my agent texted me, and he like sent like this business mass text to my mom, my dad, so I knew it was something important. So once I got to reading the whole paragraph, and he told me everything, I was geeked, man. I mean, so I mean, it was a real special moment. It's everything I've ever dreamed of as a kid, and being able to finally be awarded that was pretty awesome. So.
Also being named as like part one of the All-Pro teams as well. Like this year, I mean, you had such a coming out party and you stacked a couple good years previously, so I don't want to down talk those. But what was it about this year that really just seemed to click with you and the Broncos defense?
Yeah, I mean, just as far, I mean, as I go, I mean, I would probably say just the opportunity to play more. I feel like the previous 2 years, I feel like was, me trying to learn how to be a pro, learning, how to play football in the NFL, just growing. And I feel like this last year that just happened, I mean, was kind of like the accumulation of all that hard work and just being patient and kind of just taking everything I knew from the other guys. And, finally, when I got the chance, it just all kind of showed. So, I mean, it was just me just being ready and, having my moment. And the defense, I feel like those are guys that are just hungry, man. I mean, we had a bunch of guys that were counted out and people didn't really think much of. And, we always had that chip on our shoulder whenever we played. So, I mean, I feel like we were just a hungry group.
Timing's everything for sure, and then it's an opportunity. Is it surreal to be in the same conversation and club now with these guys you're going to be with at the Pro Bowl, like kind of cementing yourself to you belong at the same table as them?
Yeah, I mean, it still doesn't kind of feel real. I mean, just like being in the meeting yesterday, the Pro Bowl meeting, and kind of seeing all the guys that were in there,
That'd be
and I'm just
crazy.
like, dang, like I'm really one of these guys right now. So, it's still pretty surreal, but I mean, I've kind of gotta, I guess higher my expectations a little bit, just knowing, the type of player I am and just the work I put in.
With the absence of like the actual true Pro Bowl game, which kind of degraded over the years, but that's a separate conversation. But like going into this week, like what are you looking most forward to? Skills competition, all that stuff like that. What are you looking most forward to? And are you kind of glad there's not an actual game to be played?
Yeah, and it was funny because I was just telling one of my friends this the other day. I'm like, growing up and watching the games, I'm like, I don't know why like people didn't take the game as seriously and like people aren't trying to hit out there. But it's like after playing the whole season, I'm like, I wouldn't want to go out there and just hit people either. Like this is my time to rest and stuff, and I'm trying to enjoy that. So, but now I like the new format of it. I think it's going to be a good chance to meet other guys in the NFL. Bring my family up there, just have a good time with them, and just enjoy the whole experience.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing because, like you said, you guys are so tired after an even longer season now than it used to be, and you get to do a lot more fan interaction and kind of bring the excitement back to it, especially spending time with your family. Speaking of another Pro Bowler, what's it been like playing on the same team with Marvin and people kind of forget Trouble? He's getting back healthy now for the Broncos, but Marvin will be at the Pro Bowl with you.
Yeah, obviously those are two guys that I played with, so I mean it was good to have some familiar faces in there. With Marv, I mean we all knew the type of guy he was at OU, and whether it's on offense or special teams, man, he's going always trying to find a way to make plays, and that's just who he is. And with Trouble, that's obviously one of my closest friends. Obviously he was injured this year, but whenever he got the chance to play last year, our sophomore year, he came in and he was hitting everything moving. So. But both those guys got a bright future. I mean, it's just the beginning of what's to come for them. So
I remember when Trouble came in, like one of the first few practices, like the defense was what it was, but it was like he came in popping dudes, and like as a freshman, like how it is, like a freshman.
His nickname's Trouble, man.
Yeah, exactly. A freshman comes in, like they're supposed to learn the ropes a little bit, and then like he pops like a veteran receiver, and you're just like, dang, and he kind of makes a veteran receiver mad. And you're like,
he was a dog. Was he from Florida like you, or where was
Texas?
Nah,
Texas?
he's from Texas. Yeah.
Okay.
He's a Texas
I couldn't
boy.
remember. Yeah, it was that green school in Texas. Yeah, now I remember.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's not from DeSoto. One of those two.
Yeah.
But he was my locker mate as well. Great guy.
Yeah.
Trouble's one of the all-time great guys.
Hey, just while we're on the topic of talking about the locker room, we were laughing earlier about when Coach Wiley came looking for you in the locker room, screaming your name.
Oh, we can go all day about stories with Wiley, bro. I mean, that's my guy, but man, we had some stories back then for sure.
That's a scary sound.
I mean,
trust me, I know.
Nick knows, but that year that Wiley came in, like every coach kind of tries to set his footing and kind of create his dominance, but like Wiley came in and was like laying the hammer, and everybody was scared.
I'd see like you got like you had the different workout groups. You all would be like walking back from the indoor and we're walking towards it. Everyone's like trying to get a read on how bad it was that day and stuff.
I mean, those winter workouts, like, yeah, exactly. You're carrying your cleats. You're walking over. It's like 6 a.m. in the morning, 5 a.m. in the morning, depending.
Cold, yeah.
And yeah, you're asking the guys like, how bad was it? And then you got to ask the guys that will give you a good answer, because there'll be some guys that'll be like, it's always hard, or some guys like, nah, man, like they act tough, and they're like easy. It's like,
I asked Jalen Hurts, and he's just like, man, it was nothing. I'm like, well, you're you, and I'm me. that's the difference, man.
Exactly. Like, you got to gauge it for me. Like, how would I do?
Yeah.
How would I do? Well, at Oklahoma, kind of one of the great Sooner memories in kind of the last 5 years was the comeback of the Baylor game. Jalen Hurts year, 28-3 score, ended up coming back to win. And that was kind of your coming out party. You forced a fumble, recovered a fumble that kind of turned the tides a little bit. And then the game-sealing interception. What do you remember about that game and what the mindset and just still, it's one of those games that everybody you can hear little tidbits from that game and you're like, that was like really memorable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just obviously the way we were down like that. I just kind of remember Jay Hurts like giving us that speech at halftime, and kind of how nobody really wavered. From the situation. Obviously we were down, but everybody kind of knew what type of team we were, and then we ended up just playing good ball in the second half. Yeah, and then it's fucking. Oh, my bad.
No, you good. You good.
And then yeah, fourth quarter when I had the chance to, catch the first one and I dropped it, I'm like, damn, bro, I might have just lost us the game. But thank God, I was able to get another opportunity at it and I was able to make the pick. So definitely one of my favorite wins at OU for sure.
We were talking too about obviously you still got good hands. You had a pick six this year. That was kind of like put everyone on notice. Little like defensive player of the year conversation. Do you get free Casa Bonita or that restaurant
in Denver?
Yeah, in Denver, because we were talking about they were saying Casa Bonito and stuff.
Yeah, bro. I mean, it's crazy. Like, they haven't hit me up or anything like that yet. But I mean, everybody's like always telling me, like, obviously that I should go, and it's such a great experience there. They said the food's not too good, but I mean, just like the ambiance of it would kind of be like dope to go to. But now they haven't hit me up or anything about it yet. So.
Oh, we put it up on the screen. Yeah.
It's behind.
That is such a missed marketing
dope.
opportunity yet, I would say.
Yeah,
That's
if you
a
were
cool
still in
graphic.
college, the NIL would be all over that.
Oh man, we still got to get something done with it, man. Hopefully.
Exactly. Commercial, I know. Have their people reach out to your people because it's missed out.
Yeah.
Just eating the buffet all you can eat. If you got to put on weight like back in the day.
Yeah.
We were watching, got to mention it real fast. We were doing some Googles and we remembered that you're a really good basketball player. And there was this mixtape of you and Darius Days playing on that Florida AAU team. Did you ever think you were going to go the basketball route? I think it said you played like 2 years of basketball in high school, up to 2 years, and then went all football after that. What was the topic and the conversation like when you had to decide between football and basketball? Because you're a good basketball player as well.
Yeah. So kind of, just looking at like where I can go as far as like football and like just knowing my limit in basketball, and like, yeah, I could have played in college, but like my ceiling I feel like was higher in football. And it's actually funny because your Uncle Mike, he when I committed to you guys, I was thinking about playing basketball my senior year, and I remember he came up on signing day and he was like, no, like, you're done, like, go train and go work out and just be ready for whenever you got to come up here. So I was like, all right, I'm done for sure. But
Yeah,
that was really good.
He wants you to go put weight on and get on them workouts, man.
Exactly, bro.
I remember
I was a little screen bean.
Yeah, my coach used to always like in the off season, like kind of me and Drake, because we had basketball in the morning, then you also got football workouts, and it was just a lot. But like we're like, when it's basketball season, we're basketball players, and then we'll come back to football, But like, can't really tell your college coach that, you know what I'm saying?
It never works like that.
Yeah, he wasn't trying to do none of that.
If you were gonna pick a school that I saw there was some big ones, like where would you have played college basketball?
I know Florida liked me a lot, Wake Forest and LSU, but the one I probably had the most connections with, I probably would have won with LSU or Wake Forest.
Yeah, I saw that's where your teammate Darius went. Yeah,
LSU.
Yeah, watching that mixtape.
Yeah.
We saw yours.
No, he was a dog.
Yeah, that mixtape is good. It's like the old Hoop Life mixtape.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good.
From way back when.
No, for real. And I actually remember this tweet vividly when we pulled it up earlier. But right after you, because BV got hired December 5th, you declared December 6th of that year. And you, of course, when you're going to get projected in the first two rounds, like it's an easier decision to declare as well. But what's it been like to see BV kind of turn this defense around? Because there's a tweet I'm referencing. It says it's like BV came a year too late is what you tweeted out with like a crying face.
Yeah.
But what has it been like BV like turn the defense around for Oklahoma? Because you guys were that stepping stone. That while wasn't necessarily maybe a great, but that defense had a ton of talent your final year.
A lot of guys drafted, yeah.
Yeah, no, they took a step in the right direction. So what's it been like to see BV turn around the defense for Oklahoma?
Yeah, fun story about that is, like, obviously, when Lincoln left and stuff, I kind of already was in my mind that I was out of there, and I was ready to go to the NFL. And it's crazy because once BB got hired, I remember Perrion Winfrey put me, Isaiah Thomas, Brian Asamoah, Trouble, and I can't remember if there was any more, but he put us in the group chat, and he was like, "Yo, like should we come back, bro? Like, or like it would be great to have a defense. That's going to be a lead and play for a good defensive coordinator like that, but." I feel like so much was already in motion with just like having an agent and just kind of the whole NFL draft process and where I'm going for training and stuff like that was already in motion that I was like nah, but it was definitely some talks about coming back, but he's a great head coach and a great DC, so it would have been great to play for him for sure.
How much do you still keep up with all those guys from our recruiting class? Probably a lot.
Yeah, I keep up with quite a few. Obviously, I lived with Brian and Deshaun, so I mean, I'm always gonna have those ties with him, but with them. But Trouble obviously is my a really good friend of mine. I keep up with B Will a little bit. Yeah, so I keep up as much as everybody as I can for sure.
I didn't realize how many guys our recruiting class ended up having in the league now. There's a lot of us.
Good careers.
No,
too.
100%. We
Forgot
had a good
about B.
class
Will.
for sure.
Yeah.
No, it was
Started out rocky, getting kicked out of the first workout, all of us, but
that goes back
We
to
found a way
the
somehow.
that goes back to the little asserting his dominance thing. Oh,
Riley, oh yeah.
even the
I was
older
like,
guys got kicked out.
Yeah, that's what I'd say.
We had to restart the workout. You go outside and it's freezing cold and the door's shut. You're like, all right, we got to stretch again for
Yeah,
the
new
fifth
warm-up.
time. We got to stretch for the fifth time, and it's like 5:45 a.m. You're like, I'm not making it to my 9
Yeah, I
a.m.
guess you don't have any Schmitty stories. You have both.
Yeah, I got
No,
the
yeah, I'm
the
just
mix.
I'm a wily guy.
Yeah.
It's the best of both worlds. There's stories on both sides of it. We're also looking at your recruiting a little bit. Of course, you're recruited by all the big schools. And now I was looking at your recruiting timeline. You got recruited by Alabama, and the defensive coordinator at the time was Jeremy Pruitt, who later got in trouble for handing out McDonald's bags. So maybe he not directly, but he was directly. How much do you think NIL existed before the NIL? If I'm saying, I mean, guy with your high recruitment, you would know, but NIL existed before NIL. And what's it like kind of being seen like the NIL landscape after you left college? Because it's a whole other game now.
Yeah, it's really crazy. I mean, obviously before there was like some stuff that was going on that obviously couldn't go, out in the public and stuff like that. But there was one school I won't say in particular, but they offered me something. But Bama, I have no doubt that they were on that type of stuff before NIL came out. I mean, they got all them players over there. You hear the stuff about the cars and stuff, so. I mean, it was definitely a possibility, but I mean, they had NIL before NIL, kind of even became a thing, I think. So,
Yeah. What was I going to? Well, yeah, like Saban.
Shane Gillis.
Don't tell me he's not the GOAT, but like he's retired right as NIL kind of as came on the scene, and then Shane Gillis was giving him shit on ESPN. Oh my bad, about ESPN Game Day about what did he say exactly?
He was like something like, "You're just mad now that everybody else gets to pay their players too." Shane Gillis, a comedian as well.
Which is crazy, yeah. What we were talking about it earlier too. Like you're from Florida, so obviously not that far into the OU Texas rivalry like a bunch of us are. What was it like to kind of join Oklahoma and be a part of that legendary duel between OU and Texas?
yeah, it was amazing, and I felt like it went back to all the way with my recruitment. Like I said, I mean, like you said, I obviously didn't have many ties to that OU Texas, rivalry and stuff like that, but just kind of seeing the way the two schools went away and about recruiting me. As far as like Oklahoma kind of did it the right way. Just making it about me, making it about my time there, knowing the type of player I'll be. And, kind of Texas where they did that some, but they kind of made it about bashing OU and, kind of just that, I don't know, it just went a weird way about, recruiting me and trying to talk down on another school just to get me. So that's when I kind of knew Oklahoma was the right place. But definitely once I went there and when I was finally at OU, that rivalry, it went deep. I didn't like those guys at all. I hated them for the 4 years I was there, and we beat them every time I played on the field. So I can't be too mad at it. But no, it was definitely a good rivalry for sure.
Yeah, we actually have one of your tweets up that when they announced that they would not have the horns down signal in the NCAA game, you said soft. And you still talk a lot of noise on Twitter too, which I appreciate because when you beat Texas and you have that under your belt,
you get
to
yeah.
exactly. You have the ability to talk a little noise. But even this year, I saw that too.
Yeah, they had a little better year than us, but we're on the right track. They came into it with a little different, landscape than us. They didn't have a new first year head coach and all these transfers and injuries. So I think things are looking up. At OU.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, them dudes, they don't got the stuff to kind of sustain that like we do because we done been there and done that before already multiple times. So, yeah, we'll be all right.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Every year's a new year, and you never know with that game at all.
I had to ask, too. A lot of people may or may not know, but, like, I'm a big anime fan. You really like anime. What are you watching right now? I just caught up to One Piece, so I need a new one. Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's what everyone looks at me
that
like.
was the longest catch-up of your life, bro.
Ever.
I mean, so many episodes, but I'm watching a bunch right now. Kind of the main one that I guess is my favorite right now that I'm watching is have you ever watched like MASH, like Magic and Master or something like that?
I've heard of it, though.
It's like basically this kid, he's like a regular kid, but he's like super strong. And like so he goes to this wizard school and everybody's got their wands and doing their thing and he's just like being strong in there and everybody's like, is that magic? Is like and it's crazy, but it's a really good show right now for sure. It's funny.
Say less. I'll check it out.
Y'all are speaking a foreign language.
Yeah, I was about to say, Joe, I don't know if a lot of viewers know what we're talking about. Yeah.
I know. Everybody says get on. Like people have given me lists of like ones to watch, but then they tell me they're like, yeah, like if you started now, like you will never finish this one.
Well, that's why it took me a couple years to catch up on that. You see his face; he was like, "Yeah, dude, there's like 1,000-something episodes. It's a lot."
I'm telling you, I used to be that kid. I was like, I'll never get into it. This looks weird, but now I guess all I can watch now. I don't even like watch regular TV shows, honestly. So
same. I fear I've hit that point as well.
Maybe I need to convert because anytime I see a new Netflix show, I'm just like, nah. I can't tell you the last time I started one.
Waiting on the season 2s of some of those other shows.
Yeah, it just turns in and out. Well, Nick, thanks for joining us, especially this week. You got a huge week coming up with the Pro Bowl. Had a great season with the Broncos. We're really happy to see the success because we know just how good of a guy you are and really just how much you've worked to get to this point. A long way.
Yes, sir. No, I appreciate you guys for having me on, man. It's good catching up with y'all.
Yeah, bro. Good luck. Good luck this week. Have fun.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all.
Appreciate you. For everybody watching, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. That helps us, helps you. And we'll catch you next week with another edition of The Family Business. Remember to keep it in the family.